Bonjour, everybody. Bienvenue. Je m'appelle Huw, and welcome back to the Top 14 Digest, your weekly short-ish show taking in all of the news and the results in the world of elite-level French rugby, and most importantly, le gossip. Of course, I am not on my own. I am joined, as always, by my co-host from the Atlantic Coast, Madame Mazmac. Bonjour, Maz.
Bonjour, Hugh. How are you?
I'm okay. Hang on, just sort out my framing and things. Now that people won't click on it already because I've seen how bad my framing was, but um. I'll tell you what, Maz. In the rest of my normal life, I'm a Wales fan, Welsh rugby fan, as you know, and
Mm.
it's so horrible and depressing and toxic in Welsh rugby at the moment that I'm just decided I'm going to get all of my joy from rugby, from French rugby from now on.
That's probably a good idea because it's very, very difficult to keep up with Welsh rugby. It really is. There isn't enough hours in the day to keep up with that sometimes. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely not. And because I like lots of French teams instead of just one,
Mm.
I can
Mm.
if one does badly, I can just pick another one. You know.
Exactly. New team every week.
Yep. So, scores on 14. Game number
Yay!
one of the season. Bayonne 44, Clermont 17. Clermont, it wasn't a full strength Clermont team, it's fair to say, but I thought Bayonne played some great stuff. It was very entertaining for the home fans, if nothing else. Bayonne
Yep.
do not like to lose at home. Cast versus Stade Francais 29-24. Not so
Woo.
bad for Stade Francais, Maz. This on paper looks like it was a tense one, but you were telling me that it wasn't actually that great.
It wasn't great. It was 22-7 to Cast at half time. Um, Scored some lovely tries. Their fullback, Shabani, I think he got a double. And they did their best to lose it in the last few minutes. And Stad got a penalty in the 81st minute to give them their losing bonus point.
Well, there you
Can I
go.
just say who had a fantastic game? Leonie Nakawara was back for his first kind of start because he had extended leave because I think it was his third child or something was born over in Fiji. So that's him coming back, and he was outstanding.
I
What
thought
an
you were going to
interview!
say he had extended leave because he couldn't find his hearing aids.
That could be a possibility. I don't know.
Okay. Montpellier beat Lyon 35-13. I don't know what it is, Maz, but the UK TV selection always picks Montpellier and Lyon. So
Mm.
if they're playing, that game is broadcast in the UK. And I just, there are teams I'd rather watch. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It was a bit dull and it was a bit one-sided. It was 23. It was 20-3 at half time. That kind of gives you an idea of what the way it was. No, it wasn't. It wasn't great.
Yeah. La Rochelle beat Montauban 54-19. Montauban still Montaubaning on, unfortunately. Looked likely to set a few unpleasant records, but a good result for La Rochelle.
Yeah.
USAP went down at home 12 points to 27. Perhaps maybe not as dominant a game as UBB would have liked, but we'll speak about that one a bit more later. Skipping a game to talk about RCT versus Racing 45-21. I would say the scoreline is maybe a little bit flat as Toulon a little bit in this. I think they deserved the win and they got the bonus points attacking a fun
Mm,
offensive in
mm,
overtime. But I
yeah.
think Racing made them work for it. And I think there were one or two things that Racing did that I was impressed with. Priscantelli, their number 10, had a bit of a struggle.
Yeah. Yeah. I only watched the first half of this live and then I watched the second half last night. And I struggled with the first half, to tell you the truth, but the second half was much better. There seemed to be a lot more going on. And yes, he did have a bit of a mare. Um, we had talked about this earlier on before the season that maybe some of their young Charnier, their fly half, scrum half, might struggle a bit. And yeah, sometimes they're good and sometimes they're not good. And he definitely wasn't good.
No, but our game of the week this week, Maz, was the Saturday night game. Oh, sorry, go
Sorry,
on.
we have to mention Man Onu on his 100th
Yeah.
game with Toulon. Got a try.
He's on one game a year. But yeah, he's got 3 tries in 3 games. And because I put out a bit of a cheeky stat on Parlez-Vous French Rugby Twitter account of, uh, I won't bother finding it, but because he only comes off the bench and he scored 3 tries, his
Yeah,
tries per 80 looks amazing.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
and I kind of put it compared to some of the other All Blacks, current All Black centres. It
Yeah,
was obviously way better, and some
yeah.
people are losing their minds at these stats. It was just a bit
But
of fun.
yeah, it was. But and when he scored his try, you can see how much his teammates absolutely love him. They were just
It was a great
delighted
try
for
as
him.
well, actually. Top
It was a
14
great
posted it
try.
a second ago. I'll try and
It was a
find it.
typical man. No, no, get the ball. Let's burst through. About 10 people try. What can you say? He comes off the bench. What do they call them? Finishers? Finishers?
Yeah, finishes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what Eddie
yeah,
Jones calls it.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
so
See,
Marnonu though. You wouldn't. I mean, it's easy to tell it's him because of the dreads, obviously, but
yeah,
like it's such a typical Marnonu try. And
yeah.
obviously, like a lot of Kiwis are like, "Oh, it must be easy in France then." Blah blah blah. Like, have you seen how some of your own centers are playing at the moment? You know, to chill out
Yeah,
about it, basically.
yeah. Yeah, no, delighted. It was nice. His 100th game for them. And his first game with them was in December 2015, apparently. So, yeah, nice when your 100th game to get that.
Okay, so game of the week is Section Palois versus Stade Toulousain, the Saturday night game, and it finished 30 points to 26 to Po. I told you that Po were going to win the league.
You
Shout out
did.
to all of the people last week. We featured Joe Simmons in the title and thumbnail of last week's podcast, and we got a
Yeah.
lot of Po fans commenting, telling us all about not only how much they love him, but also how how he's fitted in and how the culture of the club
Mm.
and him is a great fit. So shout out to all the people from Po who watched this. Unfortunately, Joe did go off at half time in this game, and you
Yeah.
kind of thought, ooh, that might
Uh,
be the end of that. But we had to kind of hope. We thought, Maz, that Po might be able to get a result here at home. We know in the top 14 home teams,
mm.
and they managed to make it happen, and it wasn't without incidents.
It was so much went on in this game, and it didn't start off well for them because Stade Toulousain were up 14-0 after about 14 minutes. Marchand got a try after, 2, 3 minutes, and Ange got a try after about 14. So you're kind of going, oh, good grief, what's going on here? This isn't a good way to start. But then, and this happened quite a bit, Toulouse had a really bad, it was from the restart, and they didn't take the ball, and Amid Gayetan, one of our favourites, he got the ball and off he went and scored a really nice try. Few penalties then for each team. General, he got a yellow for a hit to a high tackle. A lot of discussion about this on the forums, I can tell
I
you.
didn't like that one because I thought, where's he supposed to go? So he was, for people who didn't see, I'm gonna have to try and describe this now, but he was kind of coming across, and I think it was Kinghorn. Was it? It was one of the wingers, Toulouse wingers, jumped in the air to get the ball, and the Po player was kind of already there. And whilst he's in the air, the Stade Toulouse player hits the Po player who's on his
Mm,
feet and kind of goes down in a heap. And you could argue on another day that that's actually jumping into a player, and that's
mm,
a penalty the other way. So when it was a
yeah.
yellow card, I was like, but what's the defending player supposed to do in that scenario?
Yeah, they did look at it long enough and off he went. Yeah, so yeah, that's got a lot of discussion, so it has.
Well,
Um,
Monsieur Referee was a big talking point in this one, unfortunately.
yeah. He was quite he was up to the video a lot, wasn't he?
It was one of those check what the badge is on the jersey first, and then we'll think about the
Yeah,
decision. I think
yeah,
like
he's got it.
Toulouse got a try chalked off that was fine, and we'll talk a
Mm,
bit more about that in a moment. But then even for the final winning try, which I'll bring up again, I had up a second ago, it was a classic case of Toulouse are losing. We best just go to the TMO and check this, type scenario.
yeah, yeah. There was no need, and it was the length of time as well to check that try. There was nothing wrong with it. I was going, why is he checking this? What are they looking for? But ooh, yeah. Thankfully, I can't imagine if that try was disallowed for some reason or other. Oh, it would have been a bit mental. But yeah, as you said, Simmons went off injured just before half time, and there was nobody near him. I think he'd done his hammy or something like that. But
That's a
I,
shame.
I haven't seen anything since to know how bad or how you know it is. But There was some lovely tries, but it was just on that, what was it, 79th minute, and they got the penalty, which could have levelled the
Yes.
game. And normally you've always got the coaches going, three,
Toi,
take the three,
toi,
take
with
the
the, the
three.
two the
Yeah,
two fingers and the thumb in
so
France.
always. Now Piccaroni's straight to the line.
During the Toulon versus Racing game, they were doing that, and I thought that the coach was actually going to throw the kicking because the guy was waving the kicking tee around as well. There was one guy doing this and one guy throwing the waving the kicking tee around. I thought they were going to throw the kicking tee at the number 10, like just to stop him from going to the corner. But I love that. You got
Yeah.
in the top 14, you've got these big stadiums full of fans
Mm,
coming out at 9 p.m. on a Sunday night. And
mm.
Maz, they have not paid their money to come and see a draw. That's
Oh
not what they're
no,
here to see. So
no,
I love never take the draw in rugby. Never take the draw in rugby.
no.
Always go for the win. And
Yeah,
they did it and they got it. And it was just
yeah.
it
It
was the
was.
right
Yeah,
result, I thought, for the
yeah,
game.
yeah, 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 yeah. I think they were the better team on the night, and yeah, good win, good win.
But
From,
Stade Toulouse now away from home have lost 3 games this season in 6.
mm,
And
mm,
I think they copped 40 in both the previous ones. And they obviously lost this one against top of the table Po.
mm.
And we've obviously seen Hugo is not happy with their performances. Are we getting a bit giddy? Things are to lose in a bit of a dip at the moment.
They might be in a bit of a dip at the moment, but don't worry, they won't be in a dip come June, May, June when it. They probably have a few things that's really worrying them, like their restarts seems to be a really big problem, and that wasn't just this game. That seems to be a kind of, and a lot of unforced errors and things that they wouldn't normally be associated with. But yeah, they'll get a lot of their injured players back, and then yeah, come the money time, they'll be there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Before we go to the commercial break, I just want to talk about our fanny of the week. Now, there was no teams I think that got nilled. You could always pick fanny every week at the moment. You can pick USAP and
Mm.
what is Montalban's thing? USMP.
Was Montauban a fanny? Did they actually score?
We
Mm,
still got no wins, put it that way. But
no,
anyway, you
they have.
could give it to one of those every week, but we decided to change
Yeah.
it up and we're going to give it to a man this week. Our fanny of the week goes to France Open fly half Roman Ntamack for his ridiculous Oscar-worthy hitting the deck in order to get Poe's try disallowed. So Facundo Issa breaks through, scores a perfectly fine try, and Roman Ntamack feels a little tap on him and hits the ground like he's been shot. The TMO sees it and they rule it off for obstruction. Maz, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, I couldn't quite understand why he was doing that. And it was this kind of spectacular way that he done it as well. And it was a bit annoying because kind of go, you're better than that kind of thing. So yeah, yeah, it was frustrating. And it was well, to me, it was a perfectly good try, but
But
what can you do?
we have to be careful around Monsieur Roman as well because he does get awfully
Yeah.
picked on by the French media.
Apparently, yeah. So he had a big whinge about that about 10 days ago and said that the French media give him very negative comments. So last week for the game, he was a big love-in with Roman from Canal Rugby Club. I just started calling him Canal Rubbish Club after that because it was such a love-in. They were even interviewing him as he was doing his warm-up, interviewing him here, interviewing him. And I was like, okay, fine, that's where we're going to go. Okay.
He Yeah, let's just leave it at that. Let's just leave it at
Yeah.
that. If he should try walking a mile in Mathieu Jalibert's shoes. More on him in a moment. But before we go any further, just want to remind everybody, if you're enjoying what you are seeing slash listening to so far, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. As of today, I have just passed 8,000 subscribers, but I'm still on the quest to 10. If you would like to help me get to that goal, I would be very appreciative. Shout out to all the people who are always in the comments every single week, giving us love on the show. We really appreciate it. That's
Yeah.
both on YouTube and on Spotify. If you're watching on YouTube and you're thinking, Huw, this is great, it's a bit long though, innit? You can check it out on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Yeah, and make sure you give us a follow on there as well. Okay, Maz. Next on the agenda, we need to talk about Le Gossip of the Week. So it took us a minute to pick a Le Gossip of the Week. We thought about maybe talking about Tom Willis's move back to UBB, which is a big talking point, but that's more of a talking point from the English point of view, less the French point of view. So this week, news has broken about selection headaches for Fabien Galthié when he's picking the French team, specifically during the summer tours, which have caused a lot of controversy in the past. And now, going forwards, they could be causing controversy within France itself. Tell us more.
Yeah, there's always this kind of headlock between the FFR, which are the French national team, and the LNR, which rules the club. They actually have an agreement in place until the 30th of June 26 next year. And the problem is the new Nations Cup, which is starting in July 26. The final of the Top 14 is the 27th of June, Saturday the 27th of June. And the first game of the Nations Cup is the next weekend, the 4th of July. France are in the same pool as New Zealand, Australia, and Japan. And you have the FFR going, because there's a lot of revenue apparently to be earned from this. They want to put France in a good light for once on one of these. It's not a summer tour, but normally they send their kind of weekend squad because they're resting their players. And the LNR and the clubs are saying, hang on a second, you're already taken so many of our players already, so many weeks of the year, and now you want to bring them the week after a final off to down to New Zealand or Australia or the Pacific. I don't know where the Japan game is going to be played. And you talk to us about player management and welfare. And so there's a bit of a loggerheads. That's the word, loggerheads, a bit of a loggerheads going on at the moment. So what they've decided to do is to ask, is it World Rugby that runs the Nations Cup?
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know.
No, I don't think it is actually. I think it might be the Six Nations and SANZAR working together.
Yeah. So what they've decided to do is to go to the organising committee and ask that they play their first game that weekend of the 4th of July against Japan. And then bring out their bigger players who'll have a week's rest after the final of the Top 14. Except New Zealand want to open their competition against France in New Zealand. Hey-ho.
That's cheeky from everyone involved, to be honest. I think that's very cheeky from France to say, can we play the worst team first, please? Because I was about to say it's not Japan's fault that they're the worst team. It is. But it's kind of like they're not going to be the worst team forever. You can't just mess around with it like that.
No.
But then also the amount of moaning that New Zealand did last year about not getting the strongest France team to come down and play them. And now France is saying, oh, hold on a second. We want to send our best players to come and play you. But we can't. It's literally a week after the grand final of the league campaign. Just help us out here. And New Zealand is saying, no, we want to open against you. It's like, you can't has it both ways, New Zealand. So I think basically this is a bit silly from everyone, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a lot of rugby toys being thrown out of the rugby pram, really, isn't it? But it will be interesting to see, I suppose, from a France internal point of view, how they'll go with this, because you'll have a lot of players who over the last few months will be probably still be doing a bit of European Champions Cup finals, and then the long run in with your barrages, semi-finals, finals at Top 14. So there will be a lot of players, not a lot, but you will definitely be looking at a lot of, maybe 10-ish players who might have done a long run in without any rest. So, yeah, it's a difficult one.
It's definitely a difficult one. We'll talk more about France selections in a moment. But before we do, we need to talk about a stat of the week. So all of our stats of the week this week come from USAP versus UBB. So there was one, which is that Louis Bielbiret has never won in Perpignan before, which is a weird stat, but he now has. So well done him. And what was the one that you were telling me about the Perpignan winger who broke a record?
Jefferson Lee Joseph, 246 meters with ball in hand, which is a record since they started recording this on the Top Cut Tours in 2010, 2011. So that was, with Opta,
Yeah, I
apparently.
saw that Opta posting it, the most that they've ever recorded. I mean,
Yeah,
well done to him. Didn't
yeah.
help.
He is good. I like him. He's dangerous. And even, watching a lot of the comments when the game was going on, when he was getting the ball, he was one of the few Perpignan players that you thought this guy is going to score. I'm glad that they didn't have more of him that was live wiring last
Well,
Saturday.
indeed.
But,
Indeed.
yeah.
But speaking of players who ran, Mathieu Jalibert ran 90 meters let's call it the 81st minute. It's probably like the 62nd, but let's call it the 81st minute to win the game for your UVB. He had a bit of a rest when he got to the end, but he takes a tap and go
Yeah.
on the spot and then runs a brilliant solo try. Maz,
Yeah.
there's not many players in France who can do this. Let's just say if a certain other player had done this, it would be very big news.
It would be. And it was in a straight line as well. He just went off and off he went. Yeah. I do see a bit more now media coming around to and giving him a bit more praise, as he should be getting, because with UBB he is sensational. And you don't actually see it on that, but during the game, when he gets up off his knees after being a bit winded, naturally, he gives a really nice kiss to the crowd,
Ah. Well, fantastic. And then did you see that other week? Okay, I need to try and find an image of this player because this is going to be something that leads us onto something else. So the did you see that other week is, for me, we've mentioned him before briefly. Bayonne's new number 7. What's his name? Is it Ernst Kapia or Ernest Kapia?
Oh, Alex? Isn't it Alex?
Oh, it's Esteban.
Okay.
Sorry, I've just found it. It's written down.
Esteban.
Hang on.
Sorry, yeah, you're quite right. Esteban. Where am I going? Yeah.
Ernst. That was clearly wrong, wasn't it? But anyway.
We're both wrong. Thank
So,
goodness you've got the internet at your.
So this guy, Maz, is playing unbelievably well. So this is a flanker. Now this isn't even his best moment of the game. For some reason, the Top 14 posted this one. Whether Sigon's kick was supposed to do that, I don't know. But it's a great finish down the wing by this guy. You can see the pace on the guy and the footwork on this guy.
Yeah.
Last week, 2 weeks ago against Stade Toulouse, he stepped Lecomte in a phone box. And also in this game that's not shown, he picked it up in midfield and did a chip and chase, gathered it himself and puts, I think it was another Bayonne player. I think also in this game, what's his name?
Matias Carreras.
Yeah, Mateus Carreras scored, or Mateo Carreras, I think it is, scored a double. But this guy, Kapia, background in sevens. If you talk about the 7-1 splits that Galthié likes to go, he's got the ability. If you need a flanker who can play in the centres, this guy can do it. He's like with the blue scrum cap as well. It's like watching Justin Tipperick but taller. Like he's really something, and he's been picked in the wider squad for the Olympics. Is that right?
Yeah. Yesterday, they put out a list of 17 players that they want to prepare for the Olympics, and they will be away from the clubs for about up to 12 weeks next season, and he's part of them. But he's already been part of the France 7 squad, and I think he was injured for the Olympics. I think that's why he wasn't involved. But in the World Series, he's been with them before quite a few times. Oh yeah, he won the World Series with them in Madrid and maybe in Los Angeles. Yeah, but I believe he was injured for the Olympics, which is a real shame. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's now pivot to talking about the France squad. So you would think that surely Kapia has done enough to justify inclusion for this Awesome Nation series. But then I saw this interesting post by Mike Pierce Rugby, so at MP Sports Dragon on Twitter. And he was talking about the number of players that France have got injured. So this is of interest to our South African viewers who, of course, are playing France very soon. It's kind of their biggest game of the year yet to go. So you've got Piazza Malvaca, Winnie Antonio, Davita Tatafu, Paul Malaise, Mateus, I don't know that guy, Halagahu. Not particularly familiar with him, to be fair. Joshua Brennan, Francois Crowe, Antoine Dupont, Maxime Lucu, Baptiste Koyu, Louis Lebrun, Jonathan Dante, Yura Moafana, Theo Atasogbe, Gabien Villiers, and Roman Burros all out injured. Quickly on Lucu, is he definitely not going to be back for the autumn?
No, he is supposed to be. He was the 24th man for the game against Perpignan, and he is supposed to be playing next week. It's like 90%. So will the risk bringing him straight into a national team or not after being out for so long? That I don't know, but he will be fit. Apparently, he's going to play on Saturday night.
Yeah, and then Yura Moafana is kind of the big one. Theo Atasogbe, obviously we love him, we think he's amazing,
Yeah.
but arguably France are okay without him. And then Jonathan Dante, I think it's a bit cheeky including him in there because he's not been in favour for a while with France. But you look at those injuries, and so you're like, okay, well, who's going to come in? Like, I think Hooker is maybe the one. You probably just go to Marchand. Would just come in for that one. Tight head is an interesting one because you've got Gros from Toulon is fit and actually got in the medial team of the week just gone. But I think probably I'm terrible with French tight heads, but I'm probably thinking Lecomte is probably playing the best that I've seen, especially now that he's with Toulouse.
You
And
think
then
so? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't. It's probably the position I know the least about. And then in the second row, you've obviously got Flamand, Miafu, Guillard, Aradou. They're all still fit.
Yeah. Olivian was playing there the other night too.
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah.
true, true. And then in the back row, you've just spoiled for choice. Aldrit will play 8 for me. I'll
Yeah.
be shocked if he doesn't. Then I was thinking about number 6. He probably go Jalonch, and then number
Yeah.
7. I was thinking, oh, Kapir could get a chance, but then I forgot that bloody Paul Boudahon is playing, and he's
Yeah.
been superb for well over a year now.
Yeah.
So even with all those injuries, the pack is looking fine. And then
Yeah.
you've
The
got
pack is fine. Yeah.
Lego Rec, I would say, with no Dupont, and if Luku doesn't make it, I would say Lego Rec is a shoe-in for me.
I think he's going to get ahead of Luku anyway because of Luku being not playing all season.
Uh,
So yeah.
they'll pick Ntamack
Oh
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But all the 10s are fit. Ntamack, Jalibert, and I would love it if Sagon's got in as well. I'll do a
Yeah.
thread on him later in the week. And then the back 3, you've got LBB, Peno, and Ramos are all fit. So no
Mm,
problems there. But the centres is the interesting one for me.
mm.
The centres
Yeah.
is the interesting one for me because everyone's talking about they're expecting Fiku to be in there, which I think is fair.
Mm. Yeah.
But it's about who as well as Fiku. So the contenders are Deportier, Gaetan, Gorges, who is obviously broken through just brand new with Toulouse, and
Mm.
this other guy from Poa, I keep forgetting his name.
Oh, Ali, the double-barreled name.
Yes,
Um,
begins with
yeah.
B, I
Oh,
think.
that's so bad.
Anyway, let's just say that he's in there as well. So basically,
Bilu. Oh.
tell us in the
Oh.
comments. We've forgotten. Sorry, there's lots of people in the top 14, but just, give us a break. But Maz, where do you think that they might end up going in the census? Because for me, that's the most open one in the team. Because Fiku is
Yeah,
still there and deserves to be, but he's kind of on his way out a little bit.
yeah, yeah. And also, I haven't read about Barassi, how serious his injury is or
I
not.
don't think he's the answer anyway, even if
But
he
they're
was
going to
fit.
pick him. If he's not injured, they'll pick him. I really do think so. Gaetan, I think he really deserves.
For
I
sure.
would like to see Gaetan Deporter.
I think that makes sense as well because
Yeah,
they played together at under 20s.
yeah.
Interestingly, the other way around, Gaetan played 12 and Deporter played 13. But
Mm, mm,
I think flip them around and Deporter's stats this season in terms of line breaks and try scored and things, he's right up there. So
yeah,
for me, if not Fiku, and if they pick Fiku, I can't argue.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
without him, I would go Deporter and Gaetan. I think they're the two most talented, and then you've got Gorges coming through anyway.
There's lots going on there, isn't there? The full back though is also a bit of an interesting one because you've got Ramos, and I presume his backup will be Biel Barry from Stade Francais.
I mean, Leo Barre.
Leo Barry. There's so many BBs. We need to get different
Just
names.
LB, not LBB, LB.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Um,
Obviously, Atisogbe being injured probably makes the back three a good step weaker. Gaetan can play on the wing as well.
Yeah. And Buros is still out injured, so he's not going to be around at least for I think I read today another 3-4 weeks. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine. I think the centres, it'll be interesting to see which way they go. Apart from that, I think despite those injuries, this is still a darn strong French team, in my
Oh
opinion.
yeah. It is. It is, especially that pack. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it'll be.
for sure. Okay, before we go into the final part of the show, and do the Fijian of the week, which is the most important part, of course. I just want to remind everybody that if they'd like to support the YouTube channel a little bit more, you can get channel membership for just 99 Great British pence per month. And that gets you access to lots of exclusive content that you won't find anywhere else. There's stuff on there all from the Women's World Cup. There's outtakes from some of the longer videos that I've done. Check it out. I hope that you really enjoy it and you'll be helping me fund the channel. All of the money goes back into creating content. So anybody who takes me up on that offer, I am most grateful. All right. Before we go into the predictions for round under to our set of the top 14. Wheat, is it round wheat?
Yay!
Wow, blimey. Okay. So before we do our predictions, we need to name our Fijian of the week, Maz. Who have you picked?
I have picked Leps, Leonie Botia from La Rochelle. 36 years old, and he got a double, and he played like a man of 22. He was unstoppable at times. Okay, people were saying it was against Montauban, but he was very, very impressive. He also set up the second try.
Yeah, I'm showing it now, I think. Ridiculous step.
Yeah. That's like he was just, men were falling off him.
Hey, see you later.
I know. He got his first try just before half time from a maul, and his second try was from Jack Nowell. Is he Nowell or Noel?
Jack Noel.
No, offload. Yeah. So, and he's been with them. He was with them, I think, when they were still in Pro D2. He's been
I
with
think
them
he
for,
was as well.
Yeah. For the 2013-14 season when they came up. Yeah. And his contract is out at the end of this season, and he said that he will keep playing until his body tells him to stop.
Well, he's not in the Fiji squad, is he? So is he retired from Fiji?
Yeah. He is. He's getting on a little bit there. So, yeah. But yeah, I was really, I was delighted. It was nice to see. So, yeah.
Okay,
and we don't say good things about La Rochelle very often as well, so it's nice to say positive things about La Rochelle.
Bookmark it, people. Bookmark it. So let's go on to it is round wheat, and so first game of the weekend: Lyon versus La Rochelle. Well, that's a tough one to call because Lyon are all right at home. La Rochelle are not good away.
Yeah.
But you'd say the team sheets on paper, La Rochelle should be stronger, but there might be a few. So I'm kind of leaning towards Lyon.
So am I. Yeah. Home win. Yeah.
Racing versus Po. Obviously, Po are going to be still drunk from beating Toulouse, so I think Racing.
You think so? I'm going for Po.
I think Racing are playing some okay stuff. Obviously, they're not our favourite team, but
they are playing good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do a post about Nathan Hughes as well because he's shut me right up. I thought he was going to be an absolute disaster signing, and he's been fantastic.
Yeah, he has been fantastic. Yeah, no, we have credit where it's due. He has been really, really good.
Yeah.
I'm going Pope.
Okay, all right then. Clermont versus Cast. Doesn't this game happen every week? Clermont at home for me.
I think so too. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Cast don't travel well at all. So yeah.
And arguably the game of the week, Maz. Montauban versus Perpignan. Someone's O must go.
Yeah, something has to give here. I'm backing Montauban at home. The thing is, Montauban, actually, this was quite a fun fact. Until the game against La Rochelle, Montauban had scored more points than La Rochelle this season. Yeah. They do score tries, like even, and the tries, I've said this before, the tries that they score are generally good tries. Yeah, Montauban at home, Perpignan have, there's a lot of issues going on there, even off field, and the socials haven't been great. One of the players gave an interview, Tristan Tedder gave an interview to L'Equipe, saying how difficult it is to have a kind of a normal daily life there, go out shopping, go to restaurants, and this has gone down very, very badly with supporters, and a lot of things going on that are not quite nice at the moment. So, yeah, Montauban.
I reckon 6-3 this game is going to finish. Okay, right. Next up on the roster is Stade Francais versus Montpellier. Ooh, I think Stade Francais, because they're at home, is my opinion.
Yeah. This could be quite a decent game. Yeah,
I think
but
so.
I'm going, Stade at home. Yeah.
UBB hosting Bayonne. I think UBB at home, unless they rest loads of players, which I don't think they will.
I don't think they will, and it's in Matmut, so it's 42,000 people. Yeah. It's one of the games that they bring to the big stadium. Yeah.
People in UK, because this is the Saturday night kickoff. Tune in on Premier Sports to watch it. It's a great spectacle when that is.
Yeah.
And
there'll be a lot of people up from Bayonne because it's not that far away. It's about 2 hours away, and I think I read there was about 10,000 people come up from Bayonne. So. Yeah. It will be lively. And it's a great stadium to watch games. So yeah, but I'm still going UBB. Yeah.
Fantastic. And the two teams that play a great brand of rugby as well. I look forward to that.
Yeah.
And then Toulouse hosting Toulon is the Sunday night game, 5 minutes past 8. They did show the Pilu Pilu and didn't talk over it in the UK broadcast. So I was very happy about that. I love the Pilu Pilu. It's awesome. But Toulouse versus Toulon. Look, Toulouse have had the wood over Toulon for a while now, Maz. Yeah. Toulon just cannot beat them for love nor money, and I would be shocked if they manage to get the win down in Earlis-Vallon. So for me, it's got to be Toulouse win every day of the week.
Yeah. And they'll be in an angry mood after Saturday as well. So I think, yeah.
And all their fans will be angry with us for being horrible to them in this podcast. But, at least you can, dry your tears with all your trophies and your Euro notes.
There is that. Now I do particularly like some of the Toulouse players. I have, I love Thibaut Flamand. To me, that guy can hardly do any wrong. And Francois Gross as well. Yeah, the two of them I adore. So, and the Argentinians don't happen to be there at the moment, but Juan Cruz, when he comes back, he's going to make a bit of a difference, isn't he?
For sure. One of the best players in the world. Absolutely love him. Anyway.
Underrated.
Yeah. That brings us to the end of the show. This is normally the bit where you remind me there's something I've forgotten.
I don't think so, for once.
Hooray! Fantastic. So thank you so much to everybody for watching. Subscribe if you've gotten all the way to the end. Leave a comment. We love hearing from you. Enjoy your rugby. And I hope that everybody's team wins. Bye-bye.